The DJI Mavic number 3 is supposed to have a flight time of 46 minutes. Now, when I did my first initial launch video of this drone, I got a lot of comments about the fact that this drone does not have a 46-minute flight time. There are a few things you have to think about when it comes to the flight time of a drone, but I definitely wanted to test the flight time and then also test the other drones in DJI's lineup. So I came out here to the desert and I'm gonna fly the DJI Mavic 3, the DJI Air2S, and the DJI Mini 2 to see what flight times I'm actually getting out of each of these drones. Now, the conditions are not ideal. It's windy right now. When you go way up in the sky, it's super breezy. So I'm definitely not gonna get the max amount of time out of each one of these drones. But what I do wanna look at is how much flight time I'm actually getting versus what the marketing is saying. And then the second part of that is comparing these side by side to see if there is a major difference on how the DJI Mavic 3 is being marketed versus the other drones in DJI's lineup. Because there's a few things you need to take into consideration when you're looking at the flight time of a drone. One is that you're not gonna use the battery to its full capacity because you need to bring the drone back and you need to land it. Now, typically I fly a drone to 20, 30%, but if I'm really pushing it, I'll fly it to like 10% left in the battery. And that's like if I'm trying to get one last shot and it's like the sun is just setting over the horizon and I'm trying to just squeeze that last little bit of footage out, well, then I might push the battery. But usually I fly 20 or 30%. Having that little bit of extra charge as a safety is going to bring down your flight time. And then also just the conditions that you're flying in. So if it is windy, you're gonna have less flight time than what the ideal conditions are. You're not gonna be flying in perfectly calm weather every time you take your drone out and go fly. Now the last part is how you actually fly your drone. So if you're putting it into sport mode and racing all over the place, well, you're probably gonna deplete your battery much faster rather than if you just take the drone up and hover, or if you're putting it into cine mode and doing slower shots. Like the way that you actually use the drone will impact the battery life. I'm not worried about specifically the full amount that I'm gonna get. What I wanna see is what the difference is between these drones and if you actually are getting more battery out of this drone. Okay, so let's start with the first drone. This is the DJI Mavic 3. Let's just fly this around.
Low battery.
So the DJI Mavic 3 is supposed to get 46-minute flight time. With the wind and the conditions I'm currently flying in, I got 28 minutes and 18 seconds. And that's getting to 10% left on my battery. So at 10%, I'm dropping down and I'm landing. And on my battery, it still said I had like 3-ish minutes. Now, the number that you see in the upper right-hand corner is supposed to tell you how much battery you have left, but it does fluctuate. So like if you're using the drone in windy conditions, you're gonna see this drop faster, or if you're in like ideal conditions, you might not see it drop as fast. So this number is just kind of a reference. So it's saying that I have about 3 left. If I'm going by that number, then it would mean that I would get 31 minutes out of this drone in these conditions. All right, now let's look at the DJI Air2S.
Critically low battery.
So the DJI Air2S is supposed to have 31 minutes of flight time. And from just flying here and in the same conditions that I'm flying the DJI Mavic 3, I got 20 minutes and 32 seconds. So a pretty significant difference between the Air2S and the Mavic 3. That's a whole 8-minute difference. The Mavic 3 is up there for a lot longer than the Air2S. All right, so now let's compare to the Mini 2 because that's such a smaller drone. And in these conditions, I should get even worse battery time because it is so windy. Let's see what I can get out of this drone.
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map. Battery level is low. The aircraft will go to the home point in 10 seconds. Critically low battery.
Okay, so the Mini 2 is supposed to have 31-minute flight time, and I actually got 21 minutes, 53 seconds. Now, all three of these I flew the exact same way. I got down to 10%, I was pushing past all the alarms that were going off, and I landed at 10%. So the Mini 2 and the Air 2 both said I had about 2 minutes left of battery when I hit that 10% mark. So this test was definitely interesting. The Mini 2 got more battery than I anticipated, 21 minutes over the Air2S, which got 20 minutes. And I'm flying in the same conditions, nothing's changed. Definitely you're gonna get a little bit more out of these batteries if you're in ideal conditions without wind, but still you could see that there is a significant difference with the Mavic 3. Even in ideal conditions, I don't think I've ever gotten the full battery life of these drones. So when you're looking at battery life for a drone, you have to take in consideration that you can't fly the entirety of the battery. You are getting more with the Mavic 3, and I don't think you'll ever get 46 minutes, but you're definitely gonna get more than the other drones. And when I was out flying in Alaska and Utah, and I was actually working with this drone in real world settings, I feel like the Mavic 3 got a lot more footage out of each battery than the other drones like the Mini 2 and the Air2S. So definitely there is a big jump in the battery, but you're not gonna be getting the full 46 minutes. I mean, it'd be great if we could get a full 46 minutes, but from the test that I've done and just flying with it, 30 minutes is a good amount of flight time. And in ideal conditions, you're probably gonna get more, like 32, 33. So if you wanna see another video on the DJI Mavic 3 and how you can get better looking footage flying this drone, make sure you check out this video right here, and I'll see you on the next one.